I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. James Tallarico is a piece of and he's a danger to the black community. He would literally stab you in the front, the back, and the side while holding the knife.
He's a danger to
the black community. He said that Colin Allred ran a mediocre Senate campaign in Texas, which he did. I don't know, a danger to the black community is kind of crazy.
It's absolutely unhinged.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gaze, where we take on LGBT insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys? What are we doing? I don't even know. We haven't even planned this.
Oh yeah, we have. No, become a member to watch our unhinged Mary Kill game with Blair White.
That was a really good one.
And then we're going to be reacting to Reddit posts from the Reddit, the Reddit community.
Yeah. I just forgot. I've been sick all week, you guys.
Sick? Okay. Sick?
I'm sick. Boo, you whore.
I have been having a reaction to medication I'm taking all week.
I'm sorry. Medication?
Uh-huh.
Was it prescribed by a doctor?
It was prescribed.
By who?
So what are we talking about
Some
today?
guy at a gym.
No. What are we talking about today?
Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, yes. We're gonna remember the Jasmine Crockett, James Tallarico crash out?
I'm still involved in it on Twitter.
Can you give everyone like a 30-second summary of the story?
Jasmine Crockett is running for Senate in Texas.
Yes.
All of her supporters will call you racist if you don't like Jasmine Crockett and support James Tallarico, who is another Democratic candidate.
Isn't it Tallarico?
Tallarico. Whatever. He's a Democratic candidate in Texas. He's a great candidate for the Dems because he's a Christian man and he's very articulate, and I personally think he can appeal to middle voters.
Still probably wouldn't win,
Still
but
won't win,
comes off as
a
more
better
moderate.
candidate, and I think that the emerging Democratic Party that is moving away from woke, I think he's a good example of it. All this drama went down on Twitter. Basically, everybody was called racist for supporting this man and not supporting Jasmine Crockett.
Because of another guy named Colin Allred, who used to be a congressman and is running for a different congressional district, not Senate. But he was considering running for Senate until Jasmine Crockett ran. And some lady on TikTok claimed that Tallarico said to her that Colin Allred, he was disappointed to be running against Jasmine Crockett, a talented black woman or whatever, because he was expecting to run against Colin Allred, a mediocre black man. That's the racist accusation that's tearing
from
them apart. And we are going to react to one particular gay TikToker who's been essentially suffering a psychotic break over this story. His name is Too Raw, Too Real.
Sounds
he
gay.
is too insane and unhinged. Let's watch.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. James Tallarico is a piece of and he's a danger to the black community. He would literally stab you in the front, the back, and the side while holding the knife while you're bleeding out.
This is getting pretty descriptive.
He's a danger to the black community. The only allegation I'm aware of is that he may have described someone as a mediocre black man. He denies having said that.
No. So here's what actually happened. He said that Colin Allred ran a mediocre Senate campaign in Texas, which he did.
And then some woke chick
translated him to being a mediocre black man.
Because he is mediocre and a black man.
And also, like, he reached out to James, Colin Allred did, and James refused to apologize.
Yes,
because
which is so base.
He basically said, like, you did run a mediocre campaign, and I'm not going to apologize for that because it's true.
No, it's true. It's true.
James also put out a statement saying, like, Colin Allred's service and life is not mediocre.
Correct.
But his campaign was, and I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go off, King.
So, yeah, I don't know. A danger to the black community is kind of crazy.
It's absolutely unhinged.
Yeah.
Out and pretend like he didn't stab you. He promised that he would not try to divide the party and attack Jasmine Crockett.
There's been a lot of discourse around her electability, and some would say that is code for they don't think a black woman can win statewide. Should she win this primary against you, do you think she can win a statewide race?
Absolutely. You know, Congresswoman Crockett is my friend.
Yeah.
I have deep love and respect for her.
He has a super PAC called Lone Star Rising that solely only gives money to him and spent about $1 million worth of ads, and they're running negative Jasmine Crockett attack ads saying that if she wins, then we lose.
Fact check.
I don't see why that is wrong. This is a primary.
Yeah.
And Jasmine Crockett was running negative ads too.
I don't know about that, but the other thing is, do you know that
these Democrat influencers, also the ones that are like big Crockett fans, they're all connected too. Like they're all part of, and Taylor Lorenz did a deep dive on this. So I'm gonna have to do my research before I comment on it. But yes, sure, negative ads exist in a primary.
Yeah, and that's not a revelation, but also a super PAC is separate from a candidate, and a candidate, it's actually illegal for a candidate to coordinate with a super PAC. So they could be Tallarico supporters, and they could be putting out negative ads about Jasmine Crockett, but it would literally be illegal for him to be actually directly involved in that. And he actually has denounced the negative ads, which I don't even understand why, because again, it's all
because
facts.
He's a good candidate, and he also is like, he's very articulate in the way that he disagrees with someone.
Oh, so you're saying black women aren't articulate?
No,
that's like literally the logic.
That's the logic that would be there. But like James Tallarico is the type of like Christian that on the left that is really dangerous to Christian Republicans, because he can use his empathy without weaponizing it against Republicans. And I don't know. I really like him as a candidate. So that's why he's not going to like support the negative ads, because why would he? He doesn't need to.
But I think, isn't Jasmine Crockett winning though in the early polls?
It depends on the poll you look at.
Well, we'll see, but I find it hilarious they're still doing this psychosis. Anyway, let's listen, because we haven't gotten to the craziest part yet.
What the does that mean?
If she wins, it is a gift to Republicans.
True.
Fact check, true. Responsible for the contents of the set.
This been gaslighting the whole time, using his campaign to issue out fake and misinformation that Jasmine Crockett is the one that's going to be putting out negative ads against him when she ain't even released. It was Talica the entire time. You Agatha all the long. You're fake. You're phony. You're a liar. And you can lie at the drop of a hat. You're worse than J.D. Vance. Because how the you gonna issue this statement saying Texas Democrats?
Imagine being a progressive gay TikToker and you think James Tallarico is worse than J.D.
Worse than J.D. Vance is actually crazy. Like, that is insane to say. Now, I don't think he's a progressive, which is really weird, because technically I should be more ideologically aligned with people like this, because like the more middle Democrats, the problem is that they're the ones supporting Crockett.
But they're still not
But
middle
they're playing
Democrats.
identity politics.
Yes.
That's the problem, is that middle Democrats, who fiscally or like socially I tend to agree with more than progressives, they play identity politics still. They have not learned their lesson. And this is just like, I should be on this guy's side, but unfortunately everything he's saying is just horse.
What do you mean? What's not to love with this fine?
It's like, what the, oh my God, like what? How can you believe that? Because this is the type of person that'll say we're living under fascism right now.
Yeah.
How can you believe that we are living under fascism, or that we are about to live under fascism, or that Donald Trump is doing X, Y, Z, and then you also in the same breath can say that J.D. Vance is better than Tallarico, whatever his name is. J.D. Vance, the guy who lied, who hated Trump, now he loves Trump, who's in the literally Palantir's puppet, and you think that he is better than, that's insane.
It's also, did you see, this is separate, but did you see the Hassan clip where he says he would not vote for Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance?
I did.
Oh my God.
Well, these people make money off of being the resistance. I criticize power no matter who's in charge, whether it's Republicans or Democrats. You can maintain your values without, and still criticize power, even if it's your party in power. So
absolutely. All right, let's see if he has anything else to say.
Democrats should not spend precious time or money attacking one another. However, you got this super PAC with all this money coming from billionaires, coming from all these mega donors, but yet they're spending that money on ads attacking Jasmine Crockett for you. Well, how do you know they're only giving money to James? Because the treasurer said it. And then you got all these weirdos that's for Tallarico out here harassing black women who live in Texas who support Jasmine Crockett. Oh, bitch, but it gets worse. Now they're so bold that they're actually attacking our legends like Roland Martin. And when we call out the hypocrisy, the racism, the anti-blackness, they chop it up to identity.
I'm about to follow. Like, now what the
turn the camera to my people real quick.
I'm done with him. He's literally just...
Again, he doesn't control that PAC. Also, MAGA donors have donated to PACs that are supportive of Jasmine Crockett because they know how unelectable she is in the state of Texas.
You can't judge a candidate by who donates to them. I'm like,
no.
People donate to lots of for lots of reasons. He's literally saying the people arguing about this primary online are just anti-black and racist. It's like, did I hit my head and wake up in 2020?
This doesn't work anymore.
It hasn't worked in a long time.
Yeah.
But Jasmine Crockett, I mean, the problem is it makes sense that her supporters are like this. Because
she's the one
like
who
this.
calls people mediocre white men. Like, she's the one who plays race
I forgot
bait.
to say that.
Yeah.
It's so funny that this whole controversy is over the phrase mediocre black man, which I think even if you said that about someone, it's a little awkward phrasing. But if they are mediocre and they are a black man, it's not inherently racist. She's the one who famously decried mediocre white boys.
That's literally her words. That's insane. I'm sorry.
And her supporters, but I guess they don't believe anything can be racist.
Any criticism of white people, any criticism of white people is allowed.
Yeah, of course.
You're allowed to generalize white people.
Also, did you see the thing? There's this thing of some of the anti-Crockett people are attacking her because her deputy chief of staff is like a Hispanic person, and there's a video of him saying the N-word years ago.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm like, who cares? Get a life, people.
This is like the left side of politics. This is the problem, is that everybody's so touchy on the left, but then on the right, you have people who are literally just like Pam Bondi just rage baiting at a Senate hearing. Like,
everyone is so unserious.
Like it's like two extremes. You have people who don't give a about anything, no decorum whatsoever, and then you have people who are, oh no, you said like mediocre. You said a Senate campaign was mediocre. Like, oh my God, I hate it.
Well, here is Jasmine Crockett playing the race card. Shocker.
So I think it is what so many Black people fear, is that, you know, even the most quote unquote well-intentioned white folk sometimes behind closed doors may say things about us, and it makes us question. And it doesn't matter your political affiliation. And I think that it is a real fear that a lot of not just Black people but minorities have about how they may get talked about behind closed doors. And so the question, I think, for a lot of voters will be, you know, is this someone who can represent me when, if behind closed doors with a Black woman you felt comfortable enough to say this, what exactly is happening behind closed doors with non-people of color? And I think that's a real question.
Oh my God.
You like your new party?
Oh my God.
These are your people
You
now.
think that he said all, like, first of all, to insinuate that this is racist at all is just a stretch. But then to also add into the fact that he was talking to a young Black woman.
If anything, that makes it less likely that he had any racist intent.
Just a random, like, or like just a young Black woman who's maybe worked on some campaigns, but isn't really
I mean, I think she's like a small TikToker.
Yeah, she's a small TikToker. She's not inherently affiliated or in like the close quarters of his campaign. So not only, even if this was another white person, you think he would be saying something racist if he was genuinely racist? I've met racist people. How dumb would he be? I've met racist people, okay? And when they get comfortable, they're not going to do it in like a big place, okay? This is like at the Turning Point events. Like, nobody's racist up front there. They all pretend like they're not. And then when you get to the bars, they start saying some crazy shit. I don't know. This just doesn't make any sense.
Well, and it's funny because you're telling me that a white progressive man running in a Democratic primary was having a conversation with a young Black woman TikToker. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to say something racist. You'd have to believe that he was stupid beyond belief. And then I love how they're all just assuming this allegation from a random woman on TikTok is like Bible gospel.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas he says he did not say that.
Because the thing is if you ever, I guess, say somebody's racist, women, you have to believe it immediately. Believe all minorities whenever they claim anything, whenever they claim victim status, you have to believe them or else you're the oppressor.
I'm sorry, but like the Democrats are never going to be able to get their together and meaningfully resist Trump in any way until this cancerous identity stuff is like ripped root and branch from the ground up and just taken out of the party entirely. Because
it's politics. Like, it's very obvious that there is a like spin team working behind the scenes, like, oh, let's put this out. This will be great. And now they're running about it and we're talking about it.
I mean, we're just here for the tea.
Yeah.
And because the psycho gay guy crashing out is kind of funny to me. But yeah, it's bleak. The country is not doing amazing, but we're going to keep having fun. Let us know what you think. Which one of these clowns do you side with, or do you, like us, not really think any of them make any sense?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Do become a member to watch our amazing video with Blair. That was the most fun I've had doing a video in a while.
Yeah.
Our video with Blair White, and upcoming video, we're going to react to your Reddit posts. You can also join the Reddit community. It'll be linked in the description. And with that, guys, we'll be back with more Normal Gays real soon.